Okay, bus bench babes. Today, Christy and I are having a conversation all about why it's so important to stay in touch with your past clients, how it's going to serve you, how it's going to improve your business, and how it's like all around a good feeling. So let's dive into some of our favorite topics. Let's do this.
You're listening to the Girl Get Your Face Off a Bus Bench podcast, where we invite you to check your ego at the app, grab a cup of coffee, and get ready to dive into all things real estate marketing, social media, friendship, hardship, love, money mindset, and all the things that celebrate you as a badass boss babe.
We're here to encourage you, show up for you, give you a loving kick in the pants when you need it most, and be your soft place to land on the hardest of days. So pull up a seat at our table and get ready to be inspired and start living your best life by design.
Welcome to the Girl Get Your Face Off a Bus Bench podcast. We are so excited you're here.
Okay, girls, let's dive in.
So Beth, how's it going?
It's going awesome. We are like #summer life.
Summer is here. Do you want to know what I'm looking forward to most?
I would love to know what you're looking forward to most.
So this show is going to go live the week that we are going away, Ryan and I, for the first time, like for a week without Kaya on vacation.
#adult vacation.
Over our anniversary. And I'm just so excited.
You know, vacation sex is the best sex. Right?
Really?
Ryan's editing this podcast, like rolling his eyes right now.
He's like embarrassed. He's like, why is she doing this? He's nothing like us. Yeah, so I'm so excited.
So Ryan totally surprised you with this trip, which is like the best part. He arranged childcare without you even knowing, right?
Yes. And I was like, oh, okay. But it's perfect timing.
And you're going to where you got married.
We got married. We're staying at the same place we got married.
I love that.
It's going to be great. And I'm nervous. I also know Kaya's just going to be so happy.
She's going to be running your mom's household in 1 second flat.
She'll miss us, but
she will.
It's going to be.
There's this fancy thing called FaceTime. You can look at her and talk to her every single day.
We can.
Yeah.
She's probably not going to have time for us.
And you're flying first class. First class international flights. Woot, woot. Living your best first class
Ryan's
life,
like,
baby.
We're flying on our anniversary. We're flying first class.
Who cares? First class.
Great.
It's going to be awesome. What? Champagne all day.
I know, right? So that's something that we're really looking forward to.
I don't have anything fun like that on my calendar, so I will just be living vicariously through your pictures that you're probably not going to post because you're going to be like soaking it all in and not posting.
Yeah.
Damn you. Send me pictures.
I will. I'll send you pictures. It's going to be fantastic. So
it's going to be awesome. I'm so jealous.
Big things going on this week.
Super big things.
Yeah.
For you.
Yeah. So let's get back to the show.
Let's do it.
Speaking of big things, we are going to chat all about why staying in touch with your past clients is so important.
It's really shocking how and why so many real estate agents don't do this. Instead of staying in touch with people that they've already done deals with and people that already know, like, and trust them, they just go out and buy more online leads. Like, why do people do that?
Okay. This is, you might be tuning in like, duh, of course you need to stay in touch with people. But are you really? And like, are you going through like the right ways of staying in touch with people? And this just, I've said this before on the show, but this reminds me so much of photography and like building a business versus like just like, or building a brand, building a business versus just like serving a client once. And with weddings, it's a very one and done. I shouldn't say that. I have shot. Well, anyways, moving on.
Normally,
it's mostly a one and done. No judgment. I've been divorced myself. It's mostly a one and done, and then you go. That if you're just shooting weddings, that's it. And when you build like a lifestyle portrait business, that kind of thing, in addition to, or you know, you branch out into different areas, then you can actually like build and repeat clients and like serve them better. Or if you are just like shooting weddings, like just, staying in touch with their clients when their friends get married or like their siblings and that kind of thing. So
I love to see when you morphed your photography business into more of a lifestyle business. And then you did boudoir photo shoots before the wedding. You did the awesome wedding. And then they started having babies. And then you're doing lifestyle shoots in their house. It was such a great way for you to just continue working with people for years.
It's so great. And so back to real estate or just small business in general, it's really easy to just be like, okay, I did that and move on, but you're costing yourself so much money. And I really think the most fulfilling part of this work or any creative work in general is the like building connections with people, right?
Absolutely.
So like that is really where, and that's enjoyable. And so anyways, back to real estate, but it's amazing how much crossover there is, I think.
Oh, absolutely. Because it's a relationship business.
Yes.
It's a people, belly to belly interfacing business. They're all, so the skills that you would build in a photography business translates so well to helping me build my real estate business. It's the same exact thing. We're serving people during a really emotional and really important time of their life. That is exactly the same as getting married and real estate. It's the same exact thing.
It really is. And I always go back to like, who doesn't want to work with people they know and they like than just like trying to go find a random like lead?
Absolutely.
And we've talked about that again on the show for different marketing topics, but like that's where it's at. And that's where you get that fulfillment from.
Yeah, it's interesting how many agents are like, yeah. I'm going to call my past clients at some point. And, I reach out. And I'm like, well, when was the last time you talked to them? You're like, never. And like they've never heard from you, or they bought a house a year ago or 2 years ago. And then all of a sudden their house pops back up on the market with another agent. And you're so pissed off. And you're like, how can you be pissed off? You didn't do the work. You didn't put in the work. They may have had it. And like the stats say, like NAR, the National Association of Realtors, put out stats every year. And I'm learning this in my continuing ed. It was one of the chapters. And it's like most people, like I think it's over 90% of people say that they had satisfaction in their real estate transaction with their real estate agent. And it's shocking how many agents don't call, or how many sellers don't, or clients in general, don't call that same agent back the next time they go to buy and sell.
Mm-hmm. You're out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah, and that's what they say. They're like, it's not that we had a bad transaction. We just simply kind of forgot who they were and lost touch.
Yeah, getting that one-time paycheck and then like the one and done, it's such a waste of time, literally flushing money down the toilet. Like now that we're all on social media, we're all there, right? And we're running, we're sending emails or postcards or however you're marketing. It costs money, networking with people, it costs money. And you're literally flushing money down the toilet when you're just doing the one transaction with them and you're not building the relationship and growing your business that way. Like it just doesn't make sense.
Well, and the other thing to think about is right now with the market shifting, it's not that it's shifting, it's already shifted. We saw a shift back the end of June. And so we're in a new territory. This is a new market than what we were in the first part of the year. And now more than ever, everyone is marketing to all of our clients. So it's not like you just have like one competition. Like everyone, I know just at my house, I get so many flyers from agents that have no idea that a real estate agent lives here all the time. So I'm being marketed to all the time. Yeah. Mark is like kind of like the main contact on our house. He gets called all the time by real estate agents.
Really?
Yeah. And he's like, well, if I was going to sell my house, I'd probably work with my wife who sells real estate. And I know you've gotten letters on your doorstep at your house. Videos. Like if you're thinking about selling, like Bob and Sue want to buy your house. I mean, so if you're not staying in touch with your past clients,
someone is.
You're not networking to your database, they absolutely are getting reached out to by 10 other agents.
At least, right? Like that's what's happening.
Yeah. You just can't really assume that because someone worked with you once that it's a sure thing that they're going to work with you again. It just doesn't work that way. I know this has happened to me and it like hurts my feelings. It doesn't hurt my feelings as bad as it used to. And like really the only person I get mad at is myself. I'm like, I just either didn't make a big enough impression. I didn't serve them as well as they wanted to be served. We didn't make as good of a connection as maybe I thought we made. But
take that information and learn from it, right? Where can you go and grow from there is really what you need to be looking at. Getting upset with someone because they don't work with you again it's bananas. This again reminds me of real photography. Just because I shoot your wedding, I don't assume I'm shooting your family indefinitely forever.
Right.
I'm working was working to build that relationship.
And like God, you want to, but that doesn't mean it's not an
right
automatic.
Yeah, I don't. It's not.
I like the way you just said that. It's not a right.
Yeah.
You didn't just automatically earn that right because you sold someone a house or that you shot their wedding.
Even if you do a great job, it's you don't own that. It's not. Yeah. So really, really building and continuing to grow those relationships throughout is really the key to it.
Well, and there's so many ways that you can do it authentically. Yes. And not feel like salesy and feel gross about it. There's so many people that there's a lot of people in life that are really natural sales people and other people that's not really their jam. And I would say like that's where I fall into that category. I'm not super salesy. I don't like to be sold. I don't like that hard sale for myself personally. I like to be able to do research. I like to be able to kind of have my own methodology before I make a decision about what I'm going to purchase or who I'm going to work with. And I think a lot of other people like that too. And I'm like, that's why I don't like push myself on people. I'm like, you want to work with me? Great. If not, I'll introduce you to another real estate agent.
Honestly, like finding the right people that you work well together, you're not going to have to do that.
Right.
So it's really finding that too.
Right. One of the ways that I've loved growing my business is obviously through social media. It's such it's a creative way for me to share my personality, to make connections with people. And we recently had a client, now client, but at the time, a lady reached out to me and she said, I would like to sell my house and would love to meet with you. And I'm like, great. And so then when I met with her, I said, oh, how did you meet me or find me? And she's like, I've been following you on social media for a while, but she was following me under like a business name. So I didn't know who she was. And I said, well, like, how did you find me though? Cause she lives in the area, like just one town over. And she said that when she was growing her little business, she had hired a social media creative person to help her grow her business. And that person found me and she said, this gal seems like her message is very similar to yours. I think that you should start following her. So she's like, I've been following you ever since.
Cool.
And she's like, I follow your podcast. I follow you on social. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like the power of social media. Like that was it in a nutshell.
The power of building a brand.
Well, and I said, are you interviewing anyone else? She goes, well, I'm interviewing another team just for a formalities perspective. I think she was doing it to like make another friend happy or something. And literally like 5 minutes after she met with them, she's like, yeah, Beth, like, where do I sign? I want to work with your team. And I'm like, what? This is so awesome.
That's awesome.
I know.
It's finding your people. That's amazing.
Right. Yeah.
It's a great tool when we use it correctly.
When it's used effectively, it's so awesome. And then you don't even have to sell.
You want them to come to you and already be sold on you. Right. You've already done all the legwork. And that was exactly how it worked. And I was like, it feels like it's like magic, but it's not because I put in the work and I put in the work every day when I'm putting stuff out on social media. It's not that instant though, like that instant gratification. You're like building the brand, building the team, like, and you're building the relationship and then it pays off. Yeah. It just does.
It's awesome.
I love it so much.
Well, and so the other thing is send the damn email. I talked about this on a mastermind call that we had with our EXP group here locally in Minnesota yesterday. And I just said, like we're kind of brainstorming like ways to stay in touch with clients and to stay top of mind. And I said, I gave so much resistance to emails. I know you're like, Beth, we got to start doing emails. And I'm like, no, Christy, I'm not. I don't have the bandwidth for this. And then once we started doing emails, the very first one, when you pushed send, like you had it all prepped and ready to go. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so hard. I don't think I can write one email a week. I can never write this. And now I'm like, this is like one of my favorite things to do from a creative standpoint. Literally the first one that went out within 2 hours, I had someone call me and say, hey, I took my house off the market because it wasn't selling and I want to hire you to sell my house. And I'm like, no effing way. It can't be this easy. Yes. And I called Christy. I'm like, you wouldn't believe it. And she's like, Yep. That's how this works.
I talk about email as much as possible on this podcast and in life. It's where it's at. And
it's the only thing you own, which, you've drilled that in my head.
But you can serve in such a neat way. It doesn't have to be like if you're thinking it has to be that, like how many agents are sending emails, it doesn't have to be that way.
It doesn't have to be like this
different.
This like stuffy one that your broker puts out that doesn't feel aligned with you or your real estate brand at all. That's what I was sending for years. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, something's better than nothing. And I got a little bit of a response on them, but people weren't calling me saying, hey, come over with listing paperwork because I want to sell my house. I was not getting calls like that, let me tell you.
Yeah, email, just do it. If you aren't already, or if you're just kind of barely doing it, or you're just sending those, I guess, like already structured emails, like start working on this. This would be something that staying in touch this way. And they can our open rate is incredible. It's incredible. And it has stayed consistent and actually grown. It's gone up. And so this is something that we've been doing since
like 2 years
early.
now.
Yeah. And the conversion is incredible. So just do it. Yeah. Just do it.
Well, and so this our shameless plug. We use what's called Flowdesk because we love it, because you can see the analytics on the back end, but they're beautiful emails. Yeah. So if you go and check out Flowdesk and you want our discount code, reach out to us, like shoot us a DM, and we'd be happy to share our discount code. And I think it gets you 50% off your subscription.
Yeah, it's a good deal.
You're gonna love it. You are gonna actually thank us later.
And it's easy. It's so easy to design them through them. It's really great. But honestly, whatever service you're using, just get those emails out. And remember, you're not always constantly selling.
Yeah. Well, so one thing that I love doing is writing handwritten notes.
I love that. And I get these from you. I love them.
Yeah, gift giving is sort of like my love language. So I love like sending like little surprises in the mail. I love sending gourmet brownies. I love sending cards for birthdays and babies and home anniversaries. And it's such an inexpensive way, but like the art of getting actual snail mail in the mail, people love it. And people are like, you're the only person that sends us handwritten notes anymore. And every time we see it on a card in the mail, we're so looking forward to it.
We love it. Kaya's pumped. She's like, yeah, Auntie Beth. Like, she's pumped.
It's so fun.
Her favorite one was the Easter.
The Peeps one. Mm-hmm. Oh, good.
Yeah, she really liked that one.
I love it. So, and it's very inexpensive, but I feel like the bang for the buck with them. So every month I do like home anniversary cards, and like there were a couple months I sort of fell off the wagon, and I'm like, no, this is something that people come to expect from me. Mm-hmm. And it generates conversations. It generates people picking up the phone and saying, hey, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Yeah, we just got your anniversary card. I can't believe we've been in our home for 5 years. We're thinking about selling or buying a cabin. Let's have a conversation about that. And I'm like, well, that probably wouldn't have happened had I not dropped a card in the mail and reminded them that, holy cow, you've been in your home for 5 years.
You also remind them to celebrate something that was really big and emotional. And that's cool. Like, it gives you a moment of pause, even in your busy life. Like, oh, someone is also thinking about this too.
Yeah.
This was a really big moment, even if it was a couple years ago or whatever.
Yeah. It's super exciting. I love it. The other thing that we love doing, client events.
Yeah. Oh, last year it was fun to finally be able to do some.
Yeah, I think we did 3 events last year, and we are going to tweak and modify, but I think we're going to be doing like 3 events again this year.
Our brewery event was such a blast.
It was and we are going to do it again.
Yeah, can we get that pizza again?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So we're going to do the brewery event, and I'm excited about that. Yeah, but just like picking events that make sense for you and your clients, right? And actually like thinking of them too. Like, when we think of our events, we actually think of like who are our client base? What will they like not just serving us, right? Yeah. And last year, the variety was awesome.
Yeah, it was so much fun. And especially coming off of the pandemic and people just starting to like get out and about and being with people again in person. It was so like what I needed. My soul like needed that. Mm-hmm. And it was such a fun way to reconnect with people.
Which was your favorite one?
Probably the brewery event.
Was really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really
fun. The weather was really weird with our apple orchard event.
It was still fun.
It was still fun, but I'm like, I could have done without. It was like rainy and then super muggy, and my
Yeah.
hair was like big and curly.
Yeah. But it was a family friendly event. So
Yeah.
like think of what like who your clients are, and do a variety if you're able to really serve them all or host them all in one place that works for all of them.
And they don't need to cost a lot of money to be effective.
They don't. And there's so many places where you can just really make it easy, like a brewery, like an apple orchard,
Right.
or just so many other places.
Well, okay, so this one feels like such a no-brainer, and so many people are terrified to do it.
Yep.
Pick up the effing phone.
Pick up the phone.
Pick up the phone. It's literally free. And it's the best way to actually like get your point across, to be able to have a great conversation with people, to find out how they're doing. And it's not like, hey, hi, this is Beth. Let's talk about real estate. No, it's like, hey, Christy, this is Beth. Oh my gosh, it's been such a while since we connected. I really miss seeing you guys. Like, how big is Kaya now? Oh my gosh, you started Montessori school? Holy crap. Well, that's a big change in your household. There's so many ways that you can connect with people. And I love the Ford method. So call and ask about family, occupation, recreation, and then their dreams. It's such a simple way that if you go through, and you can literally write Ford on a notepad, or you can write those 4 things down so you have a little cheat sheet when you're calling and talking to people. You can get a little crypt notes by looking at their Facebook page to see that maybe they're, I don't know, got some summer vacation. But you don't even have to start talking about real estate. People want to talk about themselves.
Yes.
And so you start asking them about themselves. And then naturally, with like the law of reciprocity, they're naturally going to be like, oh my gosh, how's real estate going? How is Mark doing? Oh my gosh, how's your new kitty? And you've deepened your relationship with this person, and you've gotten caught up. And then chances are they're going to circle back and ask you how real estate is. And even if they don't, then you can end with, hey, I was just thinking about you. I just want to make sure that you know, like, I'm your resource for all things real estate. Please reach out if any questions ever come up. I want to be that person for you. And click. You don't have to ask for a piece of business at all.
No.
It's so easy.
And it's honestly, it's fun. Once you get the conversation,
Yeah.
you're going to learn about people. And when they're the people you want to be working with, it feels good.
The first conversations are scary. I'm not going to lie. I was totally adverse to talking on the phone because I honestly thought that like someone would say like maybe a past client, and I don't know, maybe this was just like my defect, but I honestly thought people would be like, like we have a problem with our whatever. We've had water in our basement a couple of times. And like, I just automatically thought that that was going to be something that I would be blamed for. And I don't know, that's like my own story. That's my own issues.
Yeah.
No one ever does that.
Or you could be the resource to help them.
Well, right. I've got a Rolodex a mile long of awesome resources.
Yeah.
We had a home inspection. We saw what we could see. Like, how could I know that your house would get water in the basement? Like, we would. There's so many ways that we would have never predicted that. But like, I want to be a resource to help you solve this problem. So then this isn't a problem when we go to sell your home the next time.
Isn't it interesting how our mind can play tricks on us like that?
I know. My mind is a really scary place to be sometimes. Scary, scary place.
So you're on social media by now, right?
Yep.
Like, and if you're not, you are. Like using it authentically to engage with them, to keep top of mind. So you don't have to be posting every day. I mean, great if you are, but just use it to like be authentic and like build a brand, and that way they actually see you. Like engage with them.
Yeah.
Like, actually go onto their social, like pay attention to what they're doing. Like that's really important. And that is the way the world is going. Social media is going nowhere. I mean, it's going to evolve even more, which we've talked about, but really engaging with them on that digital platform is very important as well.
It's super important. Another thing that you could be doing right now, especially as the market, we're seeing like a new normal and a new shift, is sending out home valuations or using a service to set all your clients up to receive a home valuation every month. People want to know how much their home is worth.
Yes.
And especially
right now,
like in a shifting market where people are kind of freaking out, if you can have a tool that will help them know what their home is worth, you're going to be providing valuable information, and that's what people want from you.
yes. I mean, who doesn't want to know what your house is worth right
Yep.
now? Everyone does.
Yep. And it's a perfect way to just open that door to start a dialogue and for you to shine as the expert.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And get them off Zillow a little bit.
Right?
Because everyone's
Those
on
freaking
there.
Zestimates are wrong anyways.
Ours is pretty accurate.
Yeah, you have a lot of homes changing hands in your neighborhood. And your home had changed it had the previous owner hadn't lived there a long time. So certain neighborhoods are super accurate and other ones they're so far off and so out of whack, but you honestly don't know unless someone sent you a valuation.
Yeah.
So I've sent you valuations, so
Yes.
now you have like a benchmark and then you have a good idea of where to go from there.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, it's so easy. These are all so easy.
Yeah. Another thing is just to be available and really take into consideration, like, who are your VIPs? And by VIPs, we're talking about who are those clients that are literally your raving fans. And you're getting leads. You're getting like, oh, I have one client. She's like, I passed your name to my cousin that just moved to town and they're a military family. And I shared your name at hockey the other day. And it's like, oh my gosh, like, she's like literally my cheerleading PR club. Like Jess, like she's incredible. And how much would I like pay someone to do that if I was hiring like a PR marketing company?
What it would take, the work it would take to get to that point is incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the resources.
And I think the stat from last year from the National Association of Realtors was, I think the number was like 41% of people worked with a real estate agent that was recommended to them by a friend or family member.
That makes complete
sense. It's a great number, but I think that number could be higher if we did a better job.
Yeah. Yes.
As real estate agents of staying in touch and really like going deep with our clients.
This is chasing after these leads when you're not actually following up with past clients. It just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense at all.
And it's not sustainable.
Yeah. Another thing I love doing is breaking bread with clients. I have clients that we have dinner parties regularly. I love getting coffee with clients.
They're actual like friends, like getting together with them. And this is again where when you actually like build a brand and you are actually working with people that you like know, like, and trust, and they know, like, and trust you. Like this is where it's so cool because like getting together with them is like getting together with friends instead of like I have to go to this work thing. Yeah. It's great.
Yeah.
And that's where you're always like top of mind for them. And someone else isn't going to just swoop in and grab them from you. You built such a strong foundation.
Yeah.
And a strong relationship.
And it's fun how many clients are like, well, Mark better be coming to dinner, or is Mark coming to happy hour? Because like now they're all friends with Mark, or I'll do a pop by. And I was dropping off pies one year, and one of my clients, so I was inside, like just shooting the breeze with them. And I'm like, hey, I got a buzz. I'm like, Mark's in the car. And they're like, what? Why didn't he come in? I'm like, well, he's just the driver today. And so then they come out in the driveway and they're like, Mark, oh my gosh, we didn't know you were out here. And he's like, oh my God, he didn't know like he was going to be like center of attention. He's like, seriously,
he
Beth?
was loving it. No,
he was loving it. He was acting like he was annoyed, but he was absolutely loving it. And I'm like, yeah, they're like, why didn't Mark come in? So it's
next time
super
just
funny.
Send Mark up. Yeah, but it's just so cool to when you operate a brand that's really in alignment with you and is really authentic, then this is where that magic happens.
Yeah, it's incredible. If you're running a team, like we have a team here, the BPR experience, and all of our team members do the same thing.
Yes. And they need to be doing the same thing. So this is something that needs to be like a requirement. Like we all need to be doing this. Everyone on the team, like everyone needs to be doing this.
Yeah. Another one that's so easy, but a lot of people don't take the time to do it because it does require a little bit of work, is taking your database and dividing people into like A, B, and C. Like who are those clients that are refer you all the time, that are your raving fans? Like maybe you're going to put them in the bucket with like the A category of those are like your true like VIP past clients. And B clients are maybe ones that you stay really engaged with on social media. Mm-hmm. Maybe they're not sending you as many referrals, but you're still not going to, maybe you're not going to do quite as many touches as them as you would with the B category or the A category, but they still shouldn't be left out. And then maybe those C category clients are past clients that the transaction was great, the deal was great, they love their house, and maybe they're just not super engaged on social media, but you're just not going to let them go by the wayside
No.
either. You're just going to have different marketing campaigns for all three of these buckets.
Exactly. And really paying attention to how quickly a B or a C can become an A, right?
Yep.
It can happen very quickly if you're serving them correctly.
Right.
And that's what you really want to happen.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, so what's the moral of the story here?
And stay in touch with your clients. Like, use summer to make it even more fun, right? Do the event, go meet up with them, like reach out to them, let them know you're thinking of them. Before we know it, it's going to be fall and holiday. And if you're waiting till that point, you need to be checking in now.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the moral of the story.
That is the moral of the story.
Yeah. So let us know if you have any unique ways that you're doing this or creative ways that you figured out, or if you're hosting an event locally, hit us up. We'd love to come check it out.
Yeah. And what's really working well for you? We're always looking for more tips and tricks and, how we can improve how we're communicating with our clients too. And these are just some of the ways that we're really good at, but what do you do that's different from this list that we need to know about?
And raising the bar for realtors in general, which is really what we're trying to do here, serving at a different level than I know a lot of us are serving at a really good level, but really making sure that we're doing that and build a community where, our clients can really trust us and they want to hang out with us. So, yeah.
I love it.
Well,
it's one of my favorite things to do.
Yeah. We are heading off for vacation soon.
Yay! You.
Yeah, we're so excited. So enjoy the summer, enjoy your clients, and until next time, remember to keep your face off a bus bench and keep being the badass boss babe that you are. Okay, girls, are you feeling as inspired as we are? We're over here cheering you on because you just finished another episode of the Girl Get Your Face Off a Bus Bench podcast.
If you want more, head over to girlgetyourfaceoffabusbench.com for show notes and more episodes. And don't forget to subscribe and leave us a 5-star review. They mean the world to us, and they're what keep us going.
Girl, thanks for being here.